on the play clock. Forcier in the gun on 4th and 10. Now they got to get to the 10-yard line. Carlos Brown and Miner in the backfield. Tate will throw, stepping up. Now he's going to run. Now he pitches it to Carlos Brown to the 20, breaks a tackle, 15, out of bounds at the 13 or 12, and he pitched it again down to the 5-yard line. At the last moment, he got it to Hughey. Hughey, the tackle, caught the pitch from Carlos Brown and took it to the 5-yard line. And now the officials confer. If the play stands, it's first down and goal. Do you believe that?
Well, what a quick thinking job by Carlos Brown.
The runner was tackled at the 6-yard line.
So the play counts. And what a heads-up play. Carlos going down. He was on top of the defender. The defender was out of bounds, though. If they review this, Brando, they may rule that Carlos Brown was out of bounds because of that.
They're getting a call timeout.
Now watch this. He's on top of the defender who is out of bounds when he pitched it to Hughey.
The previous play is under further review.
So I've got to be honest, I don't know whether technically he's out of bounds because the defender is out of bounds. Carlos Brown is not out of bounds with his body. And I've just never seen this before.
His body would be like it's in the air, wouldn't it? Because it's not actually touching the ground. The question is, if he's in contact with a defensive player who is out of bounds, is he out of bounds?
That's the question, and I don't know.
And that
I just don't know.
That rule will have to be decided by the man in the press box who is the official on replay.
And they do know all the rules. 29 years of covering Michigan football, Brando, I've never seen this happen.
Yeah, this one is unbelievable. And I got to tell you, whatever happens, okay, what an unbelievably heads-up play by Carlos Brown to pitch the ball to Mark Hughey, who's sitting there, couldn't believe it's coming to him, but grabs it and runs forward.
How about the hands he showed right there for a big lineman?
Yep, unbelievable. Even if it doesn't stand, that's still an unbelievably heads-up play by Carlos Brown.
If it doesn't stand, Purdue takes over on downs with 4:34 left. We know one thing, Carlos was never out of bounds. His body did not land out of bounds at any time until after he pitched it to Hughey. And I hate to admit when I don't know a rule, but I don't know the rule on that.
I got to tell you, I'm with you on that. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Well, I know if you're in the field of play and you land on an opposing player, you're not down.
Exactly.
So you can roll over him and keep your feet and keep running.
And if you jump out of bounds and you're still in the air and throw the ball back in, that would be considered a legal play. So if Carlos isn't on the ground, I don't know. But if he's in contact with a defender on the ground, that may be the whole change.
The officials may be in the rule book right now, Brando, to check this one themselves. I mean, who's ever seen this play before?
I don't know. I got to tell you what, I don't know the rule.
Well, we've seen a lot of odd plays over the years. Remember the Brandon Miner touchdown that one time where he went up in the air and caught the ball and was knocked out while he was in the air over the pylon, touched the pylon, but the rule was he never had possession of the ball in the field of play, and therefore he was out of bounds.
Right, exactly. But they awarded him a touchdown
originally,
and that was erroneous. But that's basically kind of that play. Now the question here is, and we go back to it, if an offensive player with the football is in contact with a defender, and the defender's out of bounds,
is the offensive player
out of bounds if his hands or body is not touching the ground out of bounds?
With the amount of time the officials are spending on this, I've got to believe they've got the NCAA rule book out and are going through page 652, section 12, article 3, paragraph B.
Or there's a lot of texting going on right now between, this crew and the head of officials in Chicago at the Big Ten office.
Crash, you got your rule book out?
No, I don't, but I just talked to Jamie Morris, who, of course, knows all the rules. And he says when he played, if he was laying on top of a guy, because they wouldn't blow the play dead if he popped up and kept going.
That was inbounds.
Well, but his point is if he's inbounds laying on top of defenders out of bounds, they'd let the play keep going. Looks like we're close to getting a ruling here, but the longer it goes, it generally means, in my experience, they overturn it and they're working on where they spot the football.
Yeah, I don't think so on this one. I usually agree with you on something like that. I think you're right. The longer it takes, Crash, but it wouldn't take that long to spot the ball on this. I really believe they're in the rule book. Can you see what the three officials are looking at? The back judge has got something out that they're looking at, Crash. There's 4 officials down there.
Yeah, I can't see. I don't know if it's a book, but...
Well,
do you want me to go out there?
Back judge, yeah, go ahead. There's nothing else. You can go out there.
Yeah.
Rob Luklin, the back judge, is the one who's got something he's looking at. Just one run out.
Oh, they're moving the ball back out to the 11, 12, 13-yard line.
No, not yet. Well, now they're up to the 18. They're putting it down. That's not where it is.
No.
There's 2 footballs, though. There's another one down at the 5-yard line that another official's holding.
But he would have been out of bounds.
At the 13.
At the 13, not the 18. That's the wrong yard marker.
Unless he stepped out earlier. We didn't see it, but he was nowhere near the sideline.
What about the clock? Are they trying to get the clock right? That's why it's taking so long.
Well, I'll be anxious to hear this ruling.
Right. Oh, he was down inside the 15, wasn't he, Frank?
13-yard line, yeah. Here's the call.
After further review, there was an illegal forward pass at the 13-yard line. That penalty includes loss of down and a 5-yard penalty. The ball goes over to Purdue on down, 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
That is a cop-out.
4 seconds to the game
That is
4:38.
an illegal. It was a backward pass. You can't, Brando. You can't call. That's not what replay is for, to call a penalty.
That's exactly right. But once they replay it, can they look at other things? Because that's what they did. It wasn't about.
That's what they ruled. I agree with you. An illegal forward pass. Now,
that's a cop-out.
I can't wait to hear the explanation of this. But with the penalty, the ball's on the 18 of Purdue. It is what it is. 4:38 to go. Purdue has an 8-point lead in the ball, and their tight end Lindsey jumps early on the left side. Check that, Kelly, the tackle, Dennis Kelly.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Oh, that's just weird.
The last thing that was a forward lateral. It appeared to be backwards.
You would look at the play, and you wouldn't even consider that as part of the replay, and yet they decided to consider it, and that's what they actually made the ruling on.
Here's the handoff. Bolden on 1st and 15, trying to sweep the right. He gets up over the 10. Michigan just trying to arm tackle him. And he gets out to the 17-yard line before he's brought down. There is a flag down. This is going to be holding.
61 offense.
Ryan Van Bergen made the tackle. The penalty on Zach Jones, the right tackle. I still want to see that forward lateral again. 4:29 to go. 38-30, Purdue.
And Frank.
And they're hurting themselves with penalties. They're back at the 8 right now.
The other thing you understand is it doesn't have to be backwards. If it's parallel to the line of scrimmage, it's legal. That's what's weird about that, because I don't think by that replay you can determine that indisputably by that video. And that's why it's a weird call.
Well, I got to believe they knew the rule, right, on a player falling on another out of bounds.
You'd hope.
Well, they're back on the 6 where they spot the ball. Elliott rolling out to his right in the end zone to throw. And Michigan has 2 players falling over each other. The pass up the sideline for Valentine, broken up by Troy Woolfolk. 2nd down and 22 coming up with 4:02 left in the game.
That's a rollout again into the end zone. Max protect.